Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Love of Business podcast by PR Connections, the voice of new media. My name is Maria Miko Faith, and I will be your host today. Today, I'm happy to introduce Sofeya Joseph. Thank you so much for coming on our show.
Thank you, Maria Miko. I'm so blessed and honored to be here with you. Thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So let's just dive right in. You have an amazing story. Can I read a little bit of what you sent me? So you're Latvian born and you have a Master of Arts.
Yes, in spiritual psychology.
That's amazing. I didn't even know they had that. That's so amazing. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, actually, I didn't know about that either. And I wasn't looking to have a master's degree in spiritual psychology to begin with. I was coaching figure skating and I was one of the top coaches in the world, actually. And my student lost an Olympic gold medal and she got second because she fell down twice. And so I was looking for some time to train my students better. So my first drive was to go and get a degree in sports psychology. So I was studying for sports psychology, and then I started feeling like something was missing. Like it was not giving me what I was looking to have to help my students. And this was the time when I discovered yoga and meditation, and I started like going more into like spiritual path. Up until that time, I was very results oriented, very ambitious, nothing was spiritual at all. And all of a sudden, like this shift happened with meditation and yoga, and I started feeling that in that area, in the spiritual area, there is more that I could do than what I was learning in sports psychology. And somehow I heard someone's mentioned the spiritual psychology degree somewhere, and I just heard people talking. And after that, I started meeting people at the grocery store, at the yoga studio, at like everywhere I'd go. I started
Wow.
hearing about this university and this degree. And finally, one day I was going to my doctor, and she and I realized that she just graduated with that degree in master's in spiritual psychology. And I asked her about it, and she said, "You have to do it." And I'm like, "Okay, well, this happened, right?" And I
Wow.
went to an information evening, and they started like talking about it, and they said, here in the school, you're going to learn about who you are, what you're here for. You're going to learn about forgiveness, acceptance, and what your life purpose is. And at this moment, I mean, I'm coaching skating, right, with like Olympics and everything, and I'm like, what am I going to do with all of that? Like, I don't need that. I need like, like ESP, extrasensory perception, so I can like get into the mind of my students to help them perform better. I didn't understand what was the meaning of it truly. But I felt that there was guidance that made me go there, and I just had trust, and I was like, okay, there is something is guiding me to be here. I'm gonna do that. And that truly changed everything. And after a little while, I realized that if you truly want to be going further in life, there is nothing more powerful than knowing who you are, what your purpose is, forgiveness, acceptance, and unconditional love. There is nothing more powerful to succeed and go forward and unleash your potential than this.
Wow. Forgiveness, acceptance, and unconditional love.
Yes. Yes.
That's that's really powerful.
It's hard like to understand like what does that mean, unconditional love, like what is that? And unconditional love is really having no beliefs, no judgments. and just seeing things as they are. And when we begin seeing things as they are and accept them as they are, then we can take different actions. And that's when we begin creating different life and different results.
Mm-hmm. It all starts. So where does it all start?
Where does it all start? Well, it starts here.
Right. And that's why we're the Love of Business show, because we love to talk about the love of business, and you've taken a spiritual, a new spiritual path and turned it into an amazing business. Can you tell us a little bit about Imagined?
Well, imagined life is really was born out of that learning that I have gotten in my school in spiritual psychology, and as I started learning more about myself and spirituality, I have received the revelation of how actually we can stop and embody more fully who we truly are. So imagined life is a soul-centered business. It's centered around us being spiritual beings having a human experience. And as that being the foundation for everything, we begin seeing how this spiritual being having a human experience evolves and expresses itself in the world. And with that, we see this expression in our thoughts and our beliefs, in our emotions, and in our judgments, and of course in our desires, and finally in our actions and habits and what we create in our life. And a lot of the times this aspect is missing, but the purpose of us is to grow spiritually into being the best that we can be, and that begins on the soul level. And so imagined life is the, you can say, a product, a system, a method that allows us very easily to step into our true self and live from that space. And it begins well, it's very simple now. You, Maria Mika, you're practicing it too now, so you can share what's
Yes.
your experience like.
Yes. So, what I love about your system that you've created is that it brings the mindfulness to a whole new level using water.
Cheers.
Cheers. So I take this bottle with me everywhere I go. It says, "What action will I take to embody my imagined right now?" And that checks me. What am I about to do? What next action am I going to take? And I do it with more intention, more frequently. And then I have this amazing little coaster. Let's see. I'm enthusiasm, I desire. So I desire enthusiasm. I am enthusiasm. And so I put my water on the coaster and I charge it with the quality that is for the week. So this week is enthusiasm.
It's powerful how, like, this is where something intangible, like what is the soul, what is the spirit, like it's so abstract, right? This practice makes it tangible and makes it real and relatable to your life, because you understand what enthusiasm means and you have an idea and vision. What is that and how can I up that to that higher level, to that here I am enthusiasm, but I want that higher level. How do I embody that? How do I show up in my life every day as that? I'm here right now with you and I'm on understanding. What is camera there? Yeah, understanding.
Oh, that's cool. You have a very
I put my charm in there too. Like, so it's everywhere,
good
so I can
idea.
bring that in. And the power, like every quality, there are 50 qualities like that. Like Maria Miko is on enthusiasm, or I'm on understanding. We have qualities. You now on your fourth quality,
The
right?
third,
You're on your third quality. So you
yeah.
started with unlimited abundance, right? I
Yes.
remember.
Yes, yes, yes. And
And
then it
so
was nurturing.
it started feeling like you begin little by little taking that elevation, right? And it starts
Mhm.
showing something more. And being an understanding right now is like allowing to see what does it mean? And God is understanding, everything is understanding. So nothing is created without understanding. And here we are co-creating this show together, right?
Mhm.
For everyone. And it couldn't have been created without an understanding. So it has to have an understanding of what do people need? Why do we need to be here? Why are we creating that? Because without this understanding, no creation makes sense. And so if we start looking around and we start seeing that here's a door behind me, the door is created because I understand people want privacy. So we create a door. I understand we like people need to track their time, so create clocks. I understand that humanity needs to survive, it needs air, or humanity needs to survive, it needs water. So we start looking around and you see how this understanding is everywhere around us. And then you can ask the question I am creating to fulfill some kind of the need in the world as well. What is that? Right?
Right, right, right.
And the love of business, no business is created for no reason. All of the businesses are created to fulfill some kind of need that someone has. Maybe not everyone has that particular need, but there is
Mhm.
someone that has that need, and that need needs to be fulfilled. And so we like step in and fill in that need.
Yes. Yes, that's a really inspiring way to look at it.
So this you cannot not love that. How can you not love that? It's amazing.
Right? No, I feel myself much more lighthearted and uh enthusiastic. Because I want to embody that, and I get the reminder regularly as I'm drinking water, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
It's powerful that you can right it's like all of the life becomes the arena to see this quality in everything.
Mhm.
So it's not like you go to, okay, I'm going to go to a yoga class and do the yoga, so after you're done yoga you're done and you're back in the normal life again. Or if you meditated in the morning for whatever 10 minutes, 20, 50, an hour, 5 hours, you're done, you're back in the real, back in life again. So
Mhm.
everything is back the same way. But with this, you are in it the entire time. And you
Yeah.
forget. Sometimes you forget, but you always, especially here we are in Las Vegas, right? It's kind of hot, so you drink a lot of water. So
Yeah.
every time you grab that bottle, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back.
Right, right. It's such positive reinforcement and helps me hydrate more too. I know that there was a time in my life where I really didn't feel like I loved myself very much, and I noticed that I had a hard time drinking water too.
Really.
And so I started to just add more water to my cooking at first, um, just to kind of gently help me to hydrate. And soon I was juicing, and then I increased my water. But
This
I
is
feel
this is another important thing. I mean, water is kind of tasteless. Have you noticed the water tastes better when you charge it?
yes, it's like I taste the differences in the water too when I'm here or there, and I'm just much more conscious of the whole drinking experience.
But it now begins making more sense. It's not that you're just drinking water for your body.
Hmm.
You're drinking your water for hydrating your soul, for growing and creating everything around you better.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's a whole different, I, a different intention for drinking water.
Hmm.
And so it's more enjoyable to do it as well. For
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like you. Like before I had emotions, before I created that, gosh, like in the past I would only drink like Diet Coke and I wouldn't even drink water. I was like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And then it's like I don't drink anything else, nothing. Just that. Yeah.
Yeah. I drink a whole lot more water and less coffee.
Well, even you can even when you use the water for coffee, for example, you can also charge it on the Imagine before you put it in a coffee maker.
Oh, yeah. Good idea. Good
We
idea.
do everything with that. Like we put water on Imagines before we water our plants. So our plants are being drinking the Imagine water.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to expand my use of that.
Mm.
So tell us the story about your charm, your beautiful big charm that you're wearing around your neck. The big version of this one.
That's true.
So it's a miracle medal. I was so fascinated by that.
Yeah, this is called Miraculous. I'm like it's hard to like the camera, right? There,
Oh
straight.
yeah.
So this is called Miraculous Medal. And you're asking like a hard question here, and I have to like go
Oh,
into
do you want me
disclosure.
to change the question?
Well, okay. Well, I'm gonna take it a little bit back to the beginning. Um, when after Imagines were born, and I started seeing the tremendous power in what they were doing and what they were actually creating in the world, what the possibility of what they can create in the world, really turning people into living from the soul rather than being occupied by the physical world, seeing through the eyes of the soul. And I started thinking, my goodness, this is the way that we can actually create the kingdom of heaven that was prophesied. This is the way we can actually do it. And I don't even know that I'm like nervous to share this story.
Oh,
I,
well,
I,
we're
I
honored.
was well, I was seeing that Imagine qualities are the qualities of the Christ consciousness. They are the Christ that were rising higher. And all of a sudden I have this vision like that I like gave a virgin birth to this child, which I did because obviously I didn't have sex to create imagined life. So it was a virgin birth. And I
Ah.
started like wondering about this. And like within a couple of like maybe a week or two, I read this book about Miraculous Medal. And Miraculous Medal is Mother Mary.
Mhm.
It's Mother Mary, and she is standing like with her arms extended, blessing the world. And I'm not Catholic, and I'm not Christian either. So I was like, so I didn't know anything about that really. And I've read in the book about Miraculous Medal, no, and I completely discarded that because it didn't relate to anything I was doing. I did not understand any of it. And the next day I had an event and I was presenting my imagines and my book. I had a table there, and next to me was another table with another author, and she had those different things on her table. And I grabbed one thing and I said, "What is this?" And she said, this is a miraculous medal. Now, I've never heard about miraculous medal before. And I was like, the miraculous medal? Because I mean, I've read about it yesterday, right? The day before, but I've
Yeah.
never seen it. I didn't pay any attention to it. I didn't know what it looked like, nothing. And now I'm holding it in my hand. And I'm like, wow. So I said to the lady, can I have it? And she said, it's yours. You were supposed to ask for it. And so now I'm like, oh my gosh, like my hair is standing on my arm. So I have it, and I come home, and it was a little golden medal, and I was wearing all like silver, like my jewelry is all like white. So I wanted the silver one. So I went on Etsy to look for a small silver medal, and I found the one that I like the design, and I ordered it. And like a week later, I'm receiving this package. It was like a little medal, like Mary Miko, sure, like you have a little
Oh, like
one,
this one.
like that. Yeah. So that's what I was ordering. And I received this package, and it's kind of like heavy. And I'm like, what is this? So I open it, and there is this. And I'm like, whoa. It's
That's
huge.
amazing.
And I had those different charms that I was wearing, and I was planning to wear all of these charms that I had. They had meaning for me, so I wanted to put, because this was meaningful. So I wanted to put the meaningful charm with my other charms. Clearly, there was no way I could wear anything else with this. It's like she wanted to be just herself, by herself, in her own right, and that's it. And since then, there were many different things actually that manifested through it. And the meaning actually of, I imagine, of the miraculous medal, that is the back.
Oh, look
And
at that.
yeah, and you have that too.
Oh, wow.
And the back has 12 stars. And these stars, some of them were brighter and some of them were not as bright. And when the woman who created, well, she didn't create the medal. I didn't tell that story how the medal was created. There was a nun, a Catholic nun in Paris in 1830, and one night she woke up in the middle of the night because she heard a child crying, and she was she was confused, like she's in the monastery where there are no children there. Like, why was she hearing the child crying? So she went out to look for this child, and she found an apparition of Mother Mary. And this apparition talked to her and told her that she is supposed to create this medal, and described everything, how it's supposed to be made. And after, so this nun, Catherine, she went to her superior. She said, we have to make this medal. They were like, no, you're crazy. But she was very persistent about that. And so they made these medals. And then later, there was plague in Paris, and people that had it, they like survived and got healed from the plague. And so it got the name Miraculous Medal. And after Catherine died, 60 years later, she was, what do you call it? They digged her out from the grave.
Exhumed, I think.
Yes, exhumed her, and her body was not decomposed. It was intact, just as if she just died yesterday. And that was a miracle. So she became a saint because of that. And they built this chapel for her in Paris, and we went to this chapel to see, and she's there, you can see her. And so people were asking her about why there was the stars on the back, why there are some stars that are brightly lit and some stars are not. And she said that's because the stars that are not brightly lit, they are the blessings that people can have but they never ask for, and that they're supposed to ask for these blessings. And so and this was so meaningful for me, because when we choose our margins for our blueprints, which is a blueprint for our life. And when we choose our margins, 12 of them, by the way, which I had that done before I found this medal, and there are 12 stars. So you choose 12 margins, and what they are is unrequested blessings. And you know that you chose those qualities, the ones that are the lowest in your life at the moment, and you wanted more of those. Why are they the lowest? Because you haven't asked for them, but now you've asked for them.
Yes.
Okay, now you have asked for them. Now you said, I want this one. Can I have that? I want unlimited abundance. I want enthusiasm. I want understanding. Can I have that? Yes, here, you have it. Okay, so those have become, so now I didn't even explain that. Now you understand the meaning of the 12 stars on the back of the medal. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I'm afraid we're out of time. We definitely would love to have you again. Can you tell everyone where they can find you and Imagined Life?
Well, the easiest one of the ways to find me, well, on Facebook is really easy to find me. Facebook, Sofeya, Sarah, Joseph, and the Messenger. And on my on my page, I have the link to my website. There is like links to it, so you can see all the different things that you can read about and find out more about. And people can send me a message, and I respond to everyone, and would love to hear the insights and support you. And also I want to offer something for request, as we talked about requesting the blessing. So ask me for passion, courage, success, or trust. So if you need passion, success, trust, or courage, one of those, ask me for it. Say, can I have more passion? Or can I have more courage? Can I have more trust? And send that to me in a message and with the email, and I will email you like this without the frame. So you are imagined, there's that. Yes. So you have a passion.
So it opens up. Can I show? It opens up like this. And then
so you'll get, well, it'll be a PDF that you'll be able to print for yourself, and you could put your water bottle on it, and it will come with special meditation that will have a meditation and prayer. Have you tried that prayer?
The prayer?
The prayer.
It's in the booklet?
Yeah. Yes. So I sent the meditation prayer that goes with that and a little instruction how to use it. So if you want that, just send me a message and say, I want passion, courage, trust, or success. One.
All right. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for spending time with us today and for sharing all that.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And thank you for asking. Oh my gosh, you ask me questions like that. This is a secret. I don't share that with anyone.
Oh, okay. We'll keep it. Thank you for watching The Love of Business. Do stay tuned for more great shows at PR Connections, PR Connections Radio, the voice of new media.
Thank you.